Yo, what's good? It's Dula Mike from East Las Vegas, Nevada. I flew all the way to ATL to be here on the industry's most wanted with TampaMystic. We about to talk a lot of shit. Good shit, bad shit, but holla at us.
Look, I promise you, the future's looking promising. I promise you, every moment with you is astonishing. It's obvious, what we got is something undivided. We were just some players up until our planes collided. Now we fly around united, we on another altitude. All these little bitches added up on amount to you. The attributes I found in you just set you so apart, ain't no doubt.
Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live. Where are we at, Dula Mike?
Industries
Most lost.
wanted.
The big one, not the little one.
That's the voice.
Dula Mike in the building.
Hello.
AKA
King of Vegas, Big Dookie, King Dingling.
Y'all gonna learn about these aliases.
Yeah, that's all.
Definitely. Listen, bro, it's so good to have you here. Thank you for being here today. Boom.
It's nothing.
We did this virtually, but we had to do it in person. You know,
Absolutely.
I feel like exchanging that good energy is extremely important.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we're just gonna dive right on in. You know, you from Vegas, but before we get into that, Dula Mite, that's a super bold name. Dula Mite.
Yeah.
What's the story behind it?
Doula Mike, Rudy Ray Moore. In high school, everybody calls me Dula. Nobody calls me Abdullah. If like somebody calls me Abdullah, I damn near get offended because it's like, oh, you mad at me? Like, what I do? So Dula is shortcut for Abdullah, Doula Mike. And then I met Rudy Ray Moore at an industry party, and he actually gave me permission to do it. This was before he passed away, so this is years ago. But Rudy Ray Moore was probably one of the nicest people I ever met. The whole persona was real too, like the whole pimp persona. So like in high school, I was probably one of the biggest flirts in high school, so it just fit me perfectly. So even in my music, I love making songs for the ladies or talking about relationships and stuff like that. So Doula Mike just fits it perfect.
Well, let's talk about the early on what you was talking about in the songs and what you called yourself.
She ain't gonna never let this one go.
No, it's this forever going to be a thing. What was your previous rap name?
My first ever rap name ever was Big Dookie.
Because he was the shit,
I
y'all.
was the shit.
He was the shit.
Yeah, I was diarrhea.
And what were some of the main things you were talking about in the records that you were putting out?
First mixtape in 2007, the first song on there was called King Dingling. So you can get it. I was talking about fuck it.
Which I think what a lot of artists talk about in the beginning.
Like Cassidy is the king of that. Evisu, my penis is so big. He still do that. That's the Cassidy voice. My penis can fit in a car. Be like, we know, nigga. Like your dick is big. All right.
We get it.
But that was me. I was like, hey, I got to talk about what I'm doing. I'm fucking. So
So silly.
make the song King Dingling. So.
Like this guy, his sense of humor is through the roof, and I love that, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it was King Dingling was the first ever song on them. But the mixtape actually got nominated for like 30 awards.
Wow.
So I know I was on to something. And
So so that's where it all started for you. But let me ask you this: growing up in Vegas, you're still there. How did growing up in Vegas itself shape your music? Where it has evolved to now?
in my area, it was multicultural. So with it being so multicultural, I had no choice but to be myself. Gangsters over there didn't respect you if you was a poser.
Yeah.
Right? And so for me, it was like this. I didn't want to get into the street shit because that wasn't nothing but trouble.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bold. This is what I actually told some gangsters from my neighborhood. I didn't do what you did because I don't want bussy. Right? I don't want to be
on the couch.
I don't want to be stuck with a whole bunch of men and think that's gangster. That's
No,
not gangster.
facts.
Noodles and all that shit, I'm cool on that. I don't want to wear sandals and a jumpsuit and people tell me when I can pee and all that stuff. I like my freedom. The second thing was I was going through worse shit at home. So if I add that stuff, what they was doing, combined what I was doing at home, nah, that wasn't gonna be a good life as a kid. So I was like, I'd rather just stick with my problems at home. Whatever y'all think about me, think about me. Because I knew as a kid, as you get older, people mature and they understand what you went through. So even those people that was involved in a lot of street shit, they were like, it was the dumbest shit I ever did. So it molded me to be able to not only tell my story, tell their stories, and just be so authentic in my music to where people don't like me because I'm authentic like that. And I don't mind people not liking me, I enjoy the people that do like me.
There you
I don't
go.
pay attention to the negative stuff. The negative stuff just gives me more content to write about. Because like what scares, my confidence is so high, I drip confidence.
Yeah.
So if that makes you uncomfortable because I don't mind being myself and being confident, don't like me.
It will make people uncomfortable. When you have a big personality in a good way, and you have that, you exude that confidence, it makes some people uncomfortable because they're uncomfortable with themselves.
Yeah.
And that's a them problem.
Yeah, and they be troublemakers. So I'm like, be a troublemaker.
Stay away from people like that.
Be on your own. So.
I feel like also too, that just comes with maturity and growth.
Absolutely.
Because back in the day, I would be quick to snap about something. Now I think about those things and I'm like, is it worth it? Is it worth getting my blood pressure up? No.
That was my problem.
You know, and that was me too. Yeah. So quick. Now I'm just like, a lot of the stuff, and I posted this the other day, a lot of the stuff that used to trigger me, it rolls right off now.
Don't trigger me no more.
No, but that's personal growth.
I wish this doula can talk to a 20-year-old doula.
What would be one thing, if you could talk to 20-year-old doula, what would be one thing that you would say to yourself?
Think before you react. Because somebody would just say the smallest shit about me in a song or something on stage, instantly I was making a diss track. Like they were looking at me like the 50 Cent of Vegas. Like I was dissing everybody. You say something about me, blah, 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 blah. And I would perform it in front of people. Would go to the shows by myself. Like, what's happening? That was stupid. That could have turned into something that it shouldn't have been.
Absolutely.
But a lot of the people that I had issues with, I took accountability and I've actually like worked it out. Like I'm gonna look directly in the camera. They know that I've contacted them. We've talked, we worked it out. And so, but people tend to have this tendency, and I think you'll agree. If they haven't grown and think that you're the same person that you were 10, 20 years ago, they haven't grown as a person.
Absolutely.
So when people try to throw a stigma on you, they want that shit to stay there. I'm just at the point now, I don't care about the stigma.
Right.
Like, man, people that know me know what's up. And so if you stick with that stigma, that just means that we wasn't supposed to be cool.
No, that is facts. Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that we can ever do in life is take accountability.
Oh, yeah.
When I was younger, I didn't want to take accountability, and I can take the accountability to admit that now. We have to know it's okay to admit when we're wrong about something, or perhaps, like you said, making sure that we don't react. Not everything deserves a reaction. Being proactive. Think about our moves before we make them, rather than that quick reaction, because them quick reactions put you in a bad spot.
Watch, I do one right here. This is actually a perfect platform to do it on, because I think my city need to hear this.
Yeah.
Dizzy Wright. Dizzy is, I'm gonna give him credit before I do anything.
Yeah.
Dizzy Wright was on the cover of the XXL freshman list. He has done a lot for Las Vegas. He does concerts. He had Vegas artists opening for him. He had him featured on this album. He doesn't get enough credit for what he's done. Me and him were at the Kendrick Lamar concert. I apologized. So I'm even gonna do it on the camera. I apologize to Dizzy Wright because it wasn't right. It didn't make the city look good when I'm going on public platforms, national platforms, doing freestyles, dissing you, talking shit about him. That doesn't show the unity in the city that it should have shown. I take accountability for that because I was pissed off about something that was petty that I could have let go years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't as serious as I made it. And I think he needs to have it on this type of public platform for me to say that I apologize for what I did on that end. And he has my full support and always has.
Man, that's beautiful right there. Like, that just gave me chills because not a lot of people will do that.
Yeah.
Especially in a public forum.
And I know he don't fuck with me because of the stuff that I did. And he has every right to feel that way because I shouldn't have been doing that on public. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
Only me. And some of that was, I was like, yeah, he a public figure, so fuck him. I was dead wrong. So to Dizzy Wright, I was dead wrong. And to Vegas, I was dead wrong for that shit.
I think, especially when it comes to your city, because we have to. It's so important where we're from to keep that unity there.
Yeah.
So important.
That's the only time I didn't show unity. I was dead wrong. So shout out to him. Shout out to the city. I was dead wrong.
Definitely. After 20 years in this music business, what still excites you about it?
The recording process. I love the studio. The studio is heaven. I wake up out of my sleep probably 2 or 3 times just to like type an idea or write an idea. I just still love music, period.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's keeping me in is the love of the music because I hate the music industry.
Listen, I agree with you.
Like this, I love
Me too.
the interviews and all of that stuff. the promo, marketing, fun. The rest of the stuff is, but music saved my life. I'll be 60 rapping.
Really?
Long as I still, I don't want to sound like, look at you jive turkeys and you suck on some ass and eat my booty and I eat your ass. Nah, I don't want to sound like that shit, but if my shit still sound solid.
Where does he come up with this?
That's how they, and look, a lot of old heads be sounding like that.
No, you are absolutely right.
Especially West Coast, they'll get them old 1990 West Coast.
I'm dead.
Yeah, look at me. I'm like, yo,
I'm so dead.
Hey, some of them old heads be trash. But if I'm an old head, like look at Nas, look at Jay-Z. I mean, damn, Jeezy's an old head now.
Yeah.
Even though T.I. retired, T.I. is dope.
2 Chainz. I respect him so much because he's, 46, 47 now probably.
Right.
Multi-business owner, still making great music and putting youngins in position. A lot of these artists are.
Our generation is a little different than the ones that came up in the 80s.
I agree.
They kind of kept up. Like LL Cool J's album sounded incredible. It was incredible. It was an incredible album.
Yeah.
If you ain't listened to the LL Cool J album, please go listen to it.
He's such a talented individual. And I'm glad that he's received his flowers and just due over the years. I really feel like
he was that guy.
Definitely, 100%. The way he licked them lips.
Yeah, he'd be like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He said, you know what I'm saying? I think. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Such a goofball.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, damn, I need to lick my lips like that.
Goofball. You're gonna make me start choking over here.
He did, though.
So you've chosen to go to direct-to-consumer sales.
Yes.
We discussed this in a previous interview we did on virtual. You're partnered with Even.biz.
Yeah.
Tell us the main reason why you decided to go to direct-to-consumer sales.
Shout out Mag. Shout out Selena. 80s, 90s, early 2000s. People used to line up when an album came out, like NSYNC. You remember NSYNC when they came out? It'd be lined up around the corner, 3 blocks down. People are lined up to get that. When you actually listen to the music, playlisting and streaming and stuff, you listen to one artist and it skips to the next, and it hurt the attention span.
Right.
And so, as an artist now, when you're spending so much money to get the money to promote it. You have to keep people's attention to listen to it because to me, the music is still important.
Right.
And if the music is listened to, then it creates the fans. So I was like, how can I eliminate the streaming part to get them to actually still listen to it? So when you buy my album, if you're spending your money to buy the album, you're going to listen.
Yeah, exactly.
It helped. And so for me, when Even came around and it was like, okay, it just don't help me with the music part. It helps me figure out who's listening to it. It allowed me to sell my merch. It helped me get partners that I have partners now.
Nice.
And it helped me even partner with Even. Originally, I just signed up for Even. They ended up partnering with me because my numbers were doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And I did 0 marketing for the last album.
Congratulations.
I just wanted to see how many I could sell. So this time I'm trying to triple the sales.
I know that's right.
To create all of the dreams that I want to create. But the number one thing is if you buy the music, I know who supported me. And then 2, they're going to listen to the music. And my numbers went up on even streaming apps.
Yeah.
Because people went to go listen to the free shit. So now if you got to listen to me, these freestyles ain't free.
Listen, you made a great valid point that I want to key in on. People typically will value stuff that they invest in a whole lot more versus people don't value what's given to them for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned that a lot in this business. It'd be like, if I give out free interviews, they're not going to show up because they don't value it because they didn't invest in it. And then I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with your music. If you're out here giving it away for free, people probably will put it on the shelf and not even take the time to check it out because they didn't invest in it.
Exactly.
They're paying you for your album. They're like, man, I paid for this. Let me check it out. Oh, this is hard. So on Even.biz, are you getting paid 2 ways? You're getting paid for people that stream it on their site and purchase it?
Once they purchase it, that's the money I get.
So if they don't purchase it, they can stream it and you make money that way as well. Am I understanding that correctly?
They have to purchase
it.
They have
Okay.
to purchase it. I tell people this too. My boy came up with an analogy with what you just said, and I'm gonna answer your question. My boy Antonio, Dirty Urban, he said when I was asking him, like, you think I should do direct to consumer? He said, imagine putting a TV on the corner and it says free. People will walk past it. He said, you put $99 on it, somebody will steal it.
They're gonna steal it.
And then when they steal it, they actually gonna hang it up and watch it. He said that's direct to consumer. And so with
Great
direct to consumer, it's pay what you want. So if you spend $1, that dollar, and I'm not capping, and I think you I'm not capping either. That $1 is more than what most artists recoup.
That is absolutely 110% facts.
So if somebody spends $1, one, thank you. I appreciate it. That dollar goes into my next project. And the most important thing, you're going to listen to the music.
Absolutely.
And I've made more money than about 80% of the artists off that $1 because most artists won't say it there in the whole as soon as they're done with the album, especially as an indie.
Right.
Like a lot of people spend so much money to make an album and then have no plan on how to make. And I don't think it's important to some people.
Listen, I think you are absolutely right. And to add on to that, what a lot of independent artists do is they'll pay for this really expensive feature and have no marketing budget left.
Stop doing brown paper bag features, please.
Like, because these big artists, majority of them, they're never going to support the song. They're never going to post it. They're not going to get in a video with you unless you pay them an additional fee for that. You could have took all them thousands of dollars and made you a beautiful marketing budget to push the song without the feature on it.
Let's take it further. You pay for the feature. You pay for the video, you still can't drop it because the label has to clear it.
Clear it, exactly. And that's
and that's a lot. Sometimes if the label don't like the song,
right,
they're gonna be like, yeah, 100,000.
Exactly, absolutely. And then you're just stuck with this song that you can't put out that you done spent probably 10 racks on.
Maybe more sometimes.
It's hustling backwards.
Yeah, like artists should have learned during COVID.
Get to the point where these big features are coming to you because they want to jump on your record.
But even then, during COVID, I got a message from 20 artists. Hey, I'm like, they need some money.
Exactly.
They knew that independent artists would pay for those features.
That's right.
And they was doing that. I'm like, yeah, y'all getting used because I said I never had the brat hit me up before.
Right, exactly.
That was just a high.
But it's facts though, because I've seen it plenty of times where people posting it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I get it.
Bag.
People are fall into hard times, whatever it may be. But
and they would do the same verse on 30 songs.
Right. You just got to listen. Independent artists, no matter what situation it is, do your homework, do your due diligence. Think about your moves before you make them because it could save you a lot of money.
You want to be a doctor, you got to go to school.
That's right.
You want to be an artist, school yourself.
Facts, absolutely. Tell us about the independent tour that you're putting together in 2026.
As of right now, I've got partners that I've set up. So I have my own lemonade. If you buy the album, you can buy a case of the lemonade too. That's my lemonade voice.
Tell us the name of the lemonade.
It's called Exquisite Sensations. I partnered up with Demon Time Rum, and then I have a partner in Griff's Barbecue Sauce and Seasoning. Independent, but coming together to where we create a 10-city tour to where I don't know what cities it is yet because I'm going to look at my demographic, which is definitely a great thing with even.biz, but create it to where I'm selling merchandise and then also creating it to where they can not only get the lemonade, the barbecue sauce, and the rum. So that's just all about marketing and promo. But the whole thing is to turn that 10-city promo tour into touring year-round 5 years from now on some Tech 9 shit to where I'm doing it now out of my bedroom in my house to where it turns into a warehouse. And it creates opportunities for other artists in the future to where if I do the tour, who said I had to be on it? I can get 3 other artists and then create other opportunities for other people. So it's about creating something for myself to turn it into something bigger because there's so many artists like me that need to be heard.
Right.
To where it's not all about me. I can create a tour, still get paid, but have those artists on the tour as well too. So
and it really gives you more freedom to be creative because it's your tour.
Yeah. And networking is all about creating friendships.
That is facts.
I know Tampa because I hit her up and I would check on her.
Yes.
Check on them.
That's facts.
It's okay to say hello without talking about music.
Yeah.
Bang. And then I'm here.
Absolutely. Creating them relationships is one of the most important things you'll ever do in life.
Yep.
Not just in the music industry, but in life, period.
Like if you go to a city, you should be able to hit up another artist or somebody that you know, hey, where can I eat tonight? Oh yeah, I'm coming to your city. But some people are just so caught up in the popularity, they don't think about all of that type of stuff. So
absolutely.
Not me.
Let's talk about one of your major accolades, the Doritos Super Bowl ad and a placement with Swagger TV. Major accolades. How, if you don't mind sharing, how did those situations come about? My
man Joseph Adu, shout out to him. He hooked me up with the Doritos commercial. Shout out to CJ Murray. He's the director for it. Pretty much, it was really honest with you. It was last minute.
Yeah.
He was like, "You want to be in a Doritos commercial for the Super Bowl?" I said, "Fuck yeah!" Literally the next day, we filmed it. So I did so good in it. CJ ended up creating a dramedy that he's selling to networks. So initially, I was supposed to only be on one episode of that, and then I did well on that to where I'm like the new bruh man on that show. So, which is cool because then he said the second season is going to turn into a regular character that's on the show.
Love. That's love.
So, I mean, I've always wanted to act. So the fact that I'm able to do a lot of acting now is cool because I've been getting auditions and stuff for that. And then as far as Swagger, that was actually, shout out to hiphopandmore.com. They did a feature on me. They listened to the music and then they was like, "Hey, you want to submit some songs to Swagger?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." I ain't gonna never turn down an opportunity. If I can't get my foot, give me a toe. So, and I submitted it, and it's supposed to be for season 3. I'm not sure if they're gonna do season 3, but the fact that they wanted to place it on there, so hopefully season 3 comes out, and if it does, you'll hear 2 songs. I think that you have such a big personality that acting is absolutely something you should pursue a whole lot more. Not saying take away from your music, but you got that big personality. I think acting is something that you are and will be phenomenal at. I think that's a transition now. Absolutely. Well, let me ask you this. Being that your first acting role, like not the commercial, but the series, was that your first kind of like, really acting role as being in that series? Yeah. Any challenges that you faced with doing that, going from being this music artist to now you're an actor? Hell no. No? I can listen to somebody talk if they have a unique voice and imitate it. Because like the Wayans family, I looked up to the Wayans family. Yeah. So acting was all like production, movies and stuff. I went to school for television production. Okay. So that type of shit was just always easy for me. It was just opportunities. And so now that the opportunity has come, I've even said like the next album is probably that's going to be my last LP. Everything's going to be singles and EPs, and I'm going to put my foot towards acting and even create my own. I even got my own podcast coming. Is there a title for it yet? Yep. Shit You Scared to Say. So is it going to be based around exactly that? Yeah. The shit that people are scared to say. Those conversations. Right. Like give us an example of what an episode would be about on shit you're afraid to say. Say Quentin Miller was sitting in front of me. Right. It's about getting the real story about what really happened. Why did they do what they did to him? Why did he get beat up? Got you. He didn't even do nothing wrong. All he did was just write the songs. And how does he get beat up in that situation? How does he look like the bad guy in the situation when he was just given an opportunity, a great opportunity, took advantage of it, and now, I mean, he has an opportunity now because people fuck with him, but he went a long time. Like, he lost his leg in a car crash. Right. So when that happens and you lose your leg, where are you at mentally? Yes, absolutely. You could spiral. Right. You could truly spiral in those situations. That's why it's so important for us to be kind to people, because we don't know what they could be going through at that moment in time. Yeah, like, you know who I want to interview? Who? Monica Lewinsky. No, you like Monica Lewinsky. We like know what she did, right? Right, absolutely. But how did she feel when her friend snitched on her? Exactly. Because she was willingly doing what she was doing and was comfortable. Of course, right. We know Bill was good. Of course, Bill was real good. But it's like, why did somebody have to put her business out there like that, you know? Not only did you put her business, you stole clothes to show evidence, and then it didn't do nothing for you. Exactly. It didn't even get you a nose job. It's crazy. So, you saw her nose. She had a dick. Yeah. She had a big ass nose. Like this? Yeah, she can fuck women with it. That's giving head for real. So... So stuff like that. See what I just said? It's those conversations to where it's like, bam, tell me the real story.
Exactly. When can we anticipate the launch of this podcast?
I'm thinking between October to January.
Okay, so fairly soon.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm all about the ambiance.
Yes.
So the
aesthetics are big.
Yeah, the studios that I've been looking at. I got 2 studios that I'm down to, but that's another goal. Do the studios and then have my own studio.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, I got 2 studios in mind, but yeah.
And that's, I mean, I think that's where most people start. Like you said, some people start doing it at their house. Mm-hmm. Then they work out of someone else's studio, which I did for many, many years. And then 3 years ago, I decided to invest in my own place. Mm-hmm. Would I like to have my big standalone own building? Of course. Not quite there yet, but at least I have this as my own space. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it'll absolutely come together for you.
I didn't want to start off with the phone and at home, because I wanted people to take me serious from day one.
Understood.
We at that point now where people see it, they want to take you serious from day one.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right, you know, because it's a different time now.
It's a different
when
time.
I started 14 years ago, people didn't have this. People were strictly, if they were even doing it from the house. You know what I'm saying? But times have changed.
Yep.
We have to get on board. 2 Chainz said, get on board or get left behind. And that's big facts.
Facts.
Throughout your journey in music, do you feel like there was something that you had to unlearn in order to grow?
Ooh, a few things. Think before I react, because I used to react so quick, and yeah, it got me in trouble. Be careful who you align yourself with. It can be every opportunity ain't a good opportunity.
Yes.
Like, do your research on who's giving you opportunities. It was so as artists, we can become desperate. We need opportunities so bad that if somebody put a bag or opportunity in your face, I gotta take it. No, you don't. Because if you don't take that opportunity, it actually can create more, because you never know who's involved with stuff. And for me, it was people that were being looked at crazy, and I didn't know when I'm working with them, and they think that I was part of those situations and stuff. So I had to clean that up. I got blackballed for a long time. Like, nah, we can't work with you. You worked with XYZ.
Right.
Like, I don't even know this month, but I worked with them.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing is the word fraud. It can be called fraudchips. Family can be family, and you can be in situations is called fruitions. Is that everybody's not, just because somebody's family doesn't mean, well, just because somebody's your blood doesn't mean that they're your family.
Yeah.
Sometimes water is thicker than blood.
Agreed.
Some people can try to be friends to you because they're trying to get information from you, and you thinking that you're creating a friendship, and they're just using you to get where they need to go. And then the situations is that it's the same thing as the friendship. They could be using you for that moment, and then when they get opportunities, they don't help you. And that was something I had to learn, is that keep that circle.
Right.
Can't let everybody in, and even if they cool, be careful with those, because yeah, it can be crazy.
You're absolutely right. And to touch on what you said about, you know, people won't give you the sauce per se, is gatekeeping a real thing for you? Do you feel like it's a real thing out there?
Hell yeah. Gatekeeping is, I'm gonna look at the character, because Alchemist spoke about this. Gatekeeping is probably top 3 one of the worst things to happen, period. People gatekeep at 9 to 5s. Like, they'll know that there's a position open, knowing that you qualify for it, they won't even tell you.
Yeah.
And so with gatekeeping is horrible, because people could actually be making more money together, but there's so many selfish people.
That's facts.
Everybody wants that. Everything that glitter ain't diamond. Some of that shit is cubic. But sometimes if you come together, I learned, being from East Las Vegas, I saw Hispanic families will have 8 people live in a 1-bedroom. 2 years later, all of them had a house. Because what they did was they all paid the bills together, saved their money, because they knew eventually gatekeeping, you stop gatekeeping, there's certain people that you could involve.
Yeah.
Now look, you got way more money in way more situations. But even producers and artists gatekeeping, it's annoying. It's like, dude, if you know that I could write for this person, what makes you think that we ain't gonna get more money together?
Absolutely.
And I know podcasts go through it.
Yes.
Because there's plenty of opportunities that you probably could have had, but now we ain't gonna have Tampa because she gonna shine too hard.
That is, I have absolutely dealt with that. And to be all the way honest, there's only a couple podcasts, and I'll say it on camera, that I actually refer people out to now, because I used to refer people to a lot of different places and never, and I know you shouldn't do something with the intent of getting it back, but if you can't even, hey man, you've sent me 10 interviews, thank you. If I can't even get a thank you or a reciprocated referral, then why am I going to continue doing this? It makes me look like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right.
Because that dollar is the root.
Yeah.
And people will do anything for money. We see that, period. People
They sure will.
Get butt naked on Instagram for it. And I'm just like, and you want a husband?
Yeah, exactly.
So, come on now. So
it's degrading. It's totally degrading.
Yeah, gatekeeping is degrading. That's the perfect word for it.
In the next, if we could fast forward from right now, we in 2025, we could fast forward to 2030. Mm-hmm. What are 3 goals that you will have achieved in the next 5 years?
Create a national tour for myself where I'm touring year round and creating opportunities for other artists. I want an Oscar. I think I can win an Oscar. Mm-hmm. And I want to, crazy as I want to have my own sitcom.
I love that.
Yeah, I would love to have my own sitcom.
In regards to actually writing for it and acting in it?
Whether I'm in it, the executive producer, I don't have to be in front of the camera to be happy.
Got you.
So if I got any way involved in like a sitcom that does well, I'm cool. Like one of my business people that I look up to other than Jay-Z and, like the essentials is Kevin Hart.
Yeah, love him.
Everything that Kevin Hart does, he has his hands in so many different things.
Yeah.
I want that type of,
man.
Like, he says it on there, like, you work too hard. It ain't work.
Got to work smarter, not harder.
And love what you do. It ain't work when you love what you're doing. So
that's the biggest thing. I was talking to this younger kid at the gym the other day, and he was talking about how he wanted to start his own business. And I said, I think that's great, but the most important thing is find something you actually love doing. Mm-hmm. Because if you just start a business because you think it's going to make you money, you're not going to succeed at it because you don't enjoy doing it. But if you find if you create a business doing something you love, you're going to be super successful. Mm-hmm. You're going to make a whole lot of money, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Because everything that I want to do is going to create it to where my lemonade becomes an energy drink. The barbecue sauce becomes one of the essential barbecue sauces. Demon Time rum becomes one of the essential rums in the club. They're looking at that like they look at Belvedere type shit.
Right.
So everything that I want to do as far as like my own businesses and what I'm involved with, that shit's going to grow anyway because of what I want to do. So business-wise, all of those dreams should make all of that stuff grow and be other stuff too.
Absolutely.
I want it to be where, like, every time you're on your Spotify, Kevin Hart here. I want it to be like, well, I don't even have to say Dula Mite no more. I can just say my government name, like Abdullah Alameen here for blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that's the goal.
That's hard. Yeah. I love it. Being real is the new fake. This is the project. This is the album.
Yeah.
Man, again, this title is, like I said earlier, your name is bold. The title of the album is bold. Where were you at in your mental space when you put this project together?
We talked about it. This whole interview has been about being real is the new fake.
Yes.
Everything that we see, 90% of that shit is fake. I can see a motherfucker take a picture, buy some flowers, and act like they're in Hawaii. And people would think that person is in Hawaii, but that person is unemployed.
Exactly.
Instagram models in Greece. Yeah, you there with your sugar daddy getting pissed on. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say what people scared to say.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's facts.
But it's real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to be anything but myself. And I see a lot of people willing to do whatever just to try to get this temporary shining.
Yeah.
And it's like, at the end of the day, this is being recorded. If a woman does an OnlyFans and say, I want to be married, well, just know that when you're married and you're doing all this stuff, somebody's buying it.
Yeah.
Somebody could be downloading that. And if you're somebody's wife or you got kids, imagine your kids' friends saying, damn, your mom was doing X, Y, and Z. That's the real reality of doing the fake shit with OnlyFans.
Yes.
What are you willing to do for money? What are you willing to do? Because everybody's losing MVPI. That's what I call it. Morals, values, principles, integrity. And what really stemmed the name, I'm going to be 100% honest instead of being long-winded, a lot of podcasters in my city were doing some ill shit for trying to go viral, trying to start shit and then giving bad advice because they're not even in those meetings to give the advice that they was given. And then when I'm driving down the street a couple months later, I see motherfuckers catching a bus.
Man.
Or I see motherfuckers working regular 9-to-5s for tips. But how are you going to tell these artists what to do when you're not even in it? Or people giving advice about music and don't even know about the music industry. Telling people how they can make money, but you riding scooters. So you're going to tell me how to go to Kmart and get a scooter then, because there's no way you can tell me about the music industry.
Absolutely.
So that's just different examples of being real is the new fake. Because when you're a real person, they hate you.
Someone told me that a long time ago. It was an older gentleman that lived in my neighborhood, and he used to always give me that wisdom and them gems. And he said, someone who's making $50,000 a year is not going to tell you how to get to that million. And it's like you said, it's a whole facade that people put on. They want to sound good. And I feel like too, for my platform, I probably could have, it's got a decent following and stuff, but I feel like it could have been way bigger if I was doing that clout stuff. But that's not in my integrity.
Nope.
It's not in me. Like, I do this because I truly love it. I have integrity. I have business standards. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that 100%. I feel like I'm the epitome of your album.
And to take it further, Muhammad Ali, Deion Sanders,
Right.
Kobe Bryant. We can keep going. These people were hated at first. They loved them later because of their authenticity. They're real. Deion Sanders is real.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, oh, he's the greatest. But when he was saying it at first, if people watch that interview when he beat Sonny Liston, he's like, I am the great. Well, you're not that good. That's what he said to Muhammad Ali at that moment. Now they love Muhammad Ali. So whether they love you now, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
They'll love you later because authenticity will always be around. The realest artists have the longest careers.
That's where the longevity comes in, because a lot of the stuff that comes out now is very gimmicky. Like you said, they're doing really off the wall stuff to get attention. And going back to what you're saying about the women doing OnlyFans, I'm sorry, but if you are a husband and you're allowing your wife to do that, I don't know that I'd want to be married to that man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say that you got to fully financially support me, because I'm cool with the whole 50-50 thing. Some people ain't going to agree with that either.
That's a stupid conversation.
Yeah, I don't even get into that. But it's like, if my significant other is okay with me selling nude videos and photos of myself, you're supposed to protect me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you're making yourself very vulnerable doing that stuff. And it's no shade, ladies, do what you want. I just couldn't put myself in that position.
Hey, the ass poppers eventually get older. I hope y'all save y'all money.
That is facts.
Them hips don't be the same.
Trust me, I know.
What you say, the hips don't lie. That's how she said it.
Think gravity takes a hold. We lose collagen, ladies. Everything starts to droop. Trust me.
I seen Pamela Anderson. She looked different.
Most women do. Let's just keep it G. I think there's very few Angela Bassett's in the world.
Right. Pamela Anderson look like Seal now. So.
One thing that I really.
That was funny as hell. I'm sorry.
One thing that I commend Pamela about, though, is that she's just truly.
She's being authentically herself.
Yeah, she don't wear makeup no more, and she don't care what people think. Because I feel like if we have to wear makeup to boost our confidence, it's just, it's. You know what I'm saying?
And let me stop capping. Because if I saw Pamela Anderson right now, I seen the tape. So I was, you know what I mean?
I mean, just the reality is we're all going to
30 seconds of my life.
We're all going to get older. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to happen. But, absolutely. So to sum it up, is what all do you have coming down the pipeline that we need to be in tune for? I know there's the tour on the way. You got your Lemonade. Anything else coming down the pipeline?
Most important thing is the new album. It's on even.biz. Even.biz. You could just type in, well, first you got to sign up. Signing up is easy. All you got to do is put in your email address, verify your email with a verification code. You're signed up. You don't have to give up a whole bunch of personal information. When you buy the album, just pay what you want. You can pay for it minimum $1. That's it. $1 is equivalent to 1,000 streams.
Man.
Bang. So that should tell you something. 2, I have different merchandise. It's not Dula Mite on anything. It's like real authentic, like clothing line merchandise and stuff that I made. It's nice too, so check it out. AAT2, which is Acquired Taste 2, Being Real is the New Fake. Check it out. well, let me say this. I stand by it. This album is a classic. It's no skips. My last two was a couple. I'm 100. This one is no skips. Like, I put my all into this one. And most importantly is that just watch me grow. Because if you buy the album, I stay in touch with whoever buys it. And everything that I do is sent to the people that bought the album so they can see the growth.
Yeah.
So you'll have access to the concerts. I always have special appearances when I do stuff. So check out the album, even.biz, DULAMITE. Just check me out.
And all the platforms that you're on outside of that, your Instagram, etc., where can they follow you?
DULAMITE, everything. The website will be freshacademy.com. But like I said, you buy the album, I'll be sending a link for that. So that way, coupon codes if you want to purchase any of the merchandise and stuff like that. So
absolutely. Who do you want to give some love to, shout out to for supporting you?
God. My family, God, my family, my best friends, which is a small circle. But as far as the album, especially two people, Peter Kane and Dirty Urban. They took a lot of time out their day to mix and master that stuff. More importantly, myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here with 30 people.
Yeah.
Like, I literally do 90% of my own marketing and promo because I like to, I tried to have people help me, but it'd be some other shit. But,
I'm with you. You see, I'm by myself.
Yeah. Sometimes, people like, you need a team.
You do, but they don't have to be with you 24/7.
Right. Everybody have their role. You can do your role and you'll be good.
Absolutely.
I'm cool with my role. So.
And I feel like it helps with our growth when we can learn to handle different aspects of the business ourselves. Again, it is important to have a team.
Yeah.
But certain things, I feel like if we can get in there and do it ourselves, it cuts out a lot of middlemen and a lot of craziness that can happen.
Absolutely.
I agree, man. One last question for you. Where are we at?
Industry's most wanted.
Yeah.
What makes Doula Mike the industry's most wanted?
I'm authentic. Like, I don't mind me sound goofy. I don't care. Like, I'm a Gemini, so I have about 30 personalities, but I'm authentic. What you see is what you get. You're not going to see this fake tough guy doing all this. That's sign language for me. If I'm a gangbanger, I'm rock, paper, scissor, crib. So I don't know how to be anything but myself. So what makes me the most wanted is, I'll say this though, lyrically, my goal, not a goal. Lyrically, I'm top 10 West Coast.
I love it.
I stand by that.
Facts.
Lyrically, I'm top 10 West Coast, and I make great songs. So it just ain't lyrics. I make great songs. I stand by my music. I'm dope.
Straight like
That's
that.
just real. I'm fire.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was worth the flight. Shit.
I'm glad that we were able to get this in because, like I said, we've done this virtually before, but there's nothing like having that energy in person.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Of course.
My dog.
Appreciate it. We out of here, y'all.